All right, David, if I would have talked to you a few weeks ago, I'm guessing that knowing football the way you do, you would have said, yeah, it's great that we're winning these games, but man, I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop, and the shoe has dropped in recent weeks. So if I would have caught you after that Tennessee miracle or after the Kentucky escape, yeah, it's good that we're getting key conference wins, but were you expecting this to kind of fall apart? Not that it's completely crumbled, but 3-3's pretty severe situation in Gainesville. Were you seeing the writing on the wall?
In a way, Mark, when you play with fire, you get burnt. And like you said, the close call with the last gasp of a play against Tennessee with some people call it a Hail Mary, some people don't call it a Hail Mary, but whatever, catch from Franks to Cleveland. And you thought that might be a spark for Felipe Franks. It gets him some confidence, and there was never really able to bounce off of that. To go to Kentucky the next week, and Luke Del Rio comes in and saves him, but in a way that was because Kentucky just decided not to cover wide receivers. And now Florida probably would have scored on the second one anyway. But earlier in the game, where they left Tyree Cleveland wide open by himself, and he sprints down the field for 60 yards, not much excuse in that. And then they had Vanderbilt at home and won by a couple scores, and you were just hoping what that kind of would be, because Felipe Franks is getting his feet under him a little bit. You would hope him as a redshirt freshman would be able to get better as the season goes on. But then you had the big game against LSU with all the stuff that happened last year. And then they come in here to the Swamp and upset the Gators. And Florida couldn't get anything going in the first half on offense, couldn't get anything going in the fourth quarter on offense. And then basically it's the same script the very next week against A&M, where the fourth quarter you couldn't get anything done. And both those games were winnable. And Florida's identified some playmakers. They don't get them the ball enough. Doug Nussmeier, offensive coordinator, has been much maligned and under fire a lot this year, just because there's not much creativity with this Florida offense. Is he hampered by a quarterback? Sure, but you've identified a playmaker in Malik Davis at running back, an electric playmaker Kadarius Toney at wide receiver, and in the Wildcat, Dre Madison, who probably should be getting the ball some more. So there are things that can be fixed. Hopefully, with this bye week in preparation for Georgia, they figured some things out. They know who their playmakers are. Find a way to get them the ball.